British travel operator TUI says it's cancelling all trips to Florida through November as COVID cases rise sharply there. Roger Dow is the president and CEO of the US Travel Association. He joins us live now from Washington. So, Roger, thank you so much for being with us. When you think about the surge in cases in not just places like Florida, but also Texas, Arizona, California as well, how much does this throw a wrench in the travel industry's plans to really get back to normal?
Well, it's so important that we get back to normal because there's been such harm done to the economy and the travel economy. And this has set us back a little bit. We've watched numbers every single week, and the numbers this week have decreased because of this spike. And we're hoping we can put it behind us very quickly.
Do you see travel normalizing in this country? Are you expecting things to get back to normal next year or later on this year, do you think?
Zane, I really expect to see things coming back towards late summer. It's going to be a domestic travel. It's going to be a drive market with short fly, then meetings, and international probably not coming back till late fall and beginning next year. And I think 2020 is going to be an awful year, 2021 a good year, and 22 it will be back to normal.
Okay, let's hope. So according to the US Travel Association, yes, according to the US Travel Association, in 2019, travel spending in the US directly supported 9 million jobs. So what does this setback, just with this news out of certain states in this country, what does this setback mean for employment in the travel sector?
Well, the good news is many areas of the country were beginning to open and travel workers were getting back to work. The unemployment in travel, it was 51% of all workers. That's twice the highest number during the Great Depression. So this means it's going to slow down, bring those people back to work, and they can't last. These are people who live paycheck to paycheck. This is America's workforce, and we've got to get them back to work, but we've got to do so healthily, and we've got to get people wearing masks and following the guidelines.
So the EU has debated, thought about a potential sort of ban on travel emanating from the United States. What will that mean for the travel sector in this country?
Well, right now, it is not going to mean much because travel between different countries internationally is totally shut off. So it's not much of a difference right now. It will be a problem if it's 4 or 5 months from now. I don't expect that to happen, but we need international to come back because it's $280 billion to our economy, and one of the most important things we have is international travel.
Should airlines have a much more unified response in terms of health and safety measures? So some airlines decide to block using the middle seat, for example. Other airlines don't. I don't believe there are any airlines that are necessarily checking temperatures. I think there's only one. Should there be a more unified response from airlines about how they work to protect travelers at this time?
I think it's very important that the traveling public knows what unified things are being done because they look at airlines as airlines, not as American, Delta, United, it's airlines. So the more they do things together, the better. It's impossible to have distancing of 6 feet on a plane. America today announced full capacity on the planes that are flying. And I think that's okay because everyone's wearing masks, everyone's being very careful, they're being smart in their spacing, they're being smart in sanitation, but they all should be following the same guidelines so the consumer is not confused and gets back to travel as soon as they can.
So we're seeing airlines like TUI, for example, canceling all flights to Florida through November. Is there a concern that other airlines are going to follow suit just because of the surge in cases and the rules and restrictions in Florida? And what sort of an impact would that have, do you think?
We're watching it very carefully. We certainly hope not. While Florida has had a spike, the governor's reacting very quickly. He's basically closed down the bars where they believe a lot of the young people are getting this. And the young people aren't being hospitalized, but they're getting these cases. And it's important to get the air traffic to Florida. But Florida's also a drive market. Disney's opening up in about 2 weeks. And when Disney World opens up, that'll be the signal that Florida is open.
Right, Roger Dow, live for us there. Appreciate it. Thank you.